A mere broken jar priced at 100,000 gold soul coins? The Soul Master City is abuzz with the emergence of a money-grabbing establishment. Can you believe it? This inconspicuous jar demands a staggering sum of 100,000 gold soul coins from its proprietor. This amount is equivalent to a typical soul master saving for an entire millennium without sustenance. One broken jar for 100,000 gold soul coins? Why don't you just rob it? A middle-aged man stormed out of the shop, venting his frustrations, which immediately caught the attention of the passing Xiao and Yin. The titans of the golden generation of the Spear Hall have arrived. Upon seeing the jar, Yin chuckled, "Boss, even if that jar were made of pure gold, it wouldn't be worth that. Is this proprietor a fool?" However, the shopkeeper, a young man clad in black lounging in a rocking chair, did not even lift his eyelids. 100,000 gold soul coins, buy it if you wish. What an arrogant shopkeeper. Do you have any idea who we are? Yin erupted in indignation. To his astonishment, the proprietor's eyes widened, casting a chilling glare. Boom! Yin was so startled that he stumbled backward, his face paling as he thought, "This aura is reminiscent of the Pope himself." Xiao quickly steadied him and bowed to the shopkeeper. "Esteemed senior, we meant no offense and offer our sincerest apologies." What a twist! Xiao, of such high stature, is addressing a mere shopkeeper as esteemed senior. Who is this shopkeeper really? The shopkeeper, Lin Xiao, is a time traveler, and within his jar lies a momentous StoreEmerges scroll capable of evolving the 7 Treasures Glazed Pagoda into the 9 Treasures Glazed Pagoda. It holds a booster that can double the lifespan of soul rings. On the left, create the future with your hands. On the right, create happiness with money. This couplet in the shop now seems chillingly profound. Upon Xiao's utterance of esteemed senior, the surrounding crowd was left in stunned silence. Would he actually purchase this exorbitantly priced jar? What miraculous artifact might emerge from within? In the next chapter, the jar will be opened, and the tension will reach its zenith. "I shall open one." With this declaration, Xiao prompted Yin to leap in panic. "Boss, are you out of your mind? That amount could buy 10 exquisite soul bones." Xiao is indeed daring to spend 100,000 gold soul coins on a mere black jar. Onlookers awaited his folly, but the outcome was Xiao seized the lucky magic hammer, and with a resounding crack, a purple brilliance illuminated the entire shop. Heavens, it truly is a soul bone. It must be at least 3,000 to 5,000 years old. The entire venue fell into a hushed silence, only to erupt into ecstatic screams. That is a soul bone, a treasure that countless soul masters may never encounter in their lifetimes, astonishingly emerging from within the jar. Lin Xiao secretly reveled in delight. Purple quality, not a loss at all. It is worth noting that this jar can yield more than just soul bones resurrection coins and awakening scrolls, any one of which surpasses even the soul bone in value. Yan's expression froze immediately. Just moments ago, he had called the others frauds, yet now he wished he could sink into the ground. The onlookers, who had initially found amusement in the situation, now bore eyes sharp as wolves, itching to rush forth and seize the jar for themselves. "Boss, I want to open another one." Xiao's eyes were bloodshot, clearly intoxicated by excitement. This was a monumental profit. If Xiao were to open another jar, could he possibly unveil a divine artifact? Would those with ulterior motives dare to act? After all, the boss was a formidable individual who could confront even Xiao. The next chapter promised to be even more exhilarating. Xiao was likely to gamble away all his savings. Out with the riffraff. Lin Xiao's cold snort unleashed an invisible force that hurled the spectators outside the shop. Such power was terrifying. The ejected crowd remained dazed, pondering, isn't the shopkeeper at least of the soul fighter caliber? Inside the shop, Yin gazed at the soul bone in Xiao's hand. His breath nearly caught his throat. "Boss, you've struck gold this time." It was worth noting that their generation, the golden generation, had yet to possess a soul bone. Spending 100,000 gold soul coins was indeed a cause for tears of joy. Yet, Xiao floated away in elation. "Yin, go back and ask Nana for more money. I want to open a 10-time draw. This soul bone could sell for 1 or 2 million. Opening 10 jars would be an incredible profit." "Boss, weren't we supposed to only open one?" Yin was frantic. "That was earlier. Now, I have a feeling that the next one will be even more astonishing." Xiao's eyes gleamed red, clearly entranced by the jar-opening frenzy. Lin Xiao chimed in with a sarcastic edge. "By the way, the 10th jar has double rewards." That remark sent Xiao into a frenzy. Yin rushed over to Juliana, breathlessly exclaiming, "Nana, Xiao is in trouble." Juliana burst into laughter. "A jar costing 100,000 gold soul coins? Only a fool would buy that." However, Yan's next words rendered her speechless. The boss opened a soul bone from the jar. What did you say? A soul bone? Juliana's lovely face was instantly filled with shock. Could Juliana believe it? Would she too be unable to resist the temptation to open a jar? What extraordinary treasures could Xiao unveil with his 10 draws? In the next chapter, Juliana would surely visit the shop herself. A grand spectacle awaited. Create the future with your hands. Create joy with your money. Juliana stared at the couplet at the shop's entrance, her eyes fixated. Just after hearing that Xiao had opened a soul bone with 100,000 gold soul coins, she remained skeptical. Yet upon arrival, the audacious couplet left her utterly speechless. The owner truly dared to make such a bold statement. Outside, the crowd had erupted into chaos, and those who had been ejected were animatedly proclaiming, "It's true. I saw it with my own eyes. That soul bone must be at least 3,000 to 5,000 years old. Whoa, then isn't that a windfall? I want to rush in and open one right now." The throng pressed tightly together, eagerly awaiting to see who would be the next fortunate soul. Within the store, Xiao fixated intently on the jars on the shelf, fearful of being outpaced by others. Lin Xiao teased him, "How about letting someone else go first?" Xiao was flustered, exclaiming, "Boss, wait a moment. Yin has gone to fetch the money. I have a premonition that the next one will be even more impressive." He added with a face full of emotion, "Boss, you're truly a good person." Lin Xiao secretly delighted in his heart. This foolish child is perhaps unaware of the odds I am employing. Does he still wish to assemble a complete set of soul bones? As the door swung open, Yin entered alongside Juliana. The moment Juliana stepped through the threshold, she was immediately captivated by Lin Xiao's imposing aura. Even the unruly Yin respectfully addressed him as Boss Lin. Who exactly is this shopkeeper? If there are no unforeseen circumstances, this young lady must be the holy maiden of the spirit hall. Juliana, Lin Xiao discerned at a glance. With Juliana's arrival, it was inevitable that she would be unable to resist the allure of the jars. What could Xiao's 10 consecutive draws yield? Might they even summon a divine artifact? It was known that these jars contained resurrection coins should one be revealed. Would the spirit hall not be exalted to divine status? The forthcoming chapter promised an exhilarating scene of Jerepening, certainly thrilling. Boss, are these jars behind you truly called lucky magic jars? Can they genuinely produce soul bones? Juliana's eyes, shimmering like spring water, fixated on the shelves, her face laden with skepticism. Xiao, anxious beside her, exclaimed, Nah, if I've already opened them, can they be false? Boss Lin is indeed a good person. He feared that Juliana might offend the proprietor and jeopardize their chances of opening jars. Lin Xiao reclined back in his rocking chair, dismissively waving them away. If you do not wish to open them, then leave. Do not impede my business. There are plenty of others waiting outside. This boss is exceedingly arrogant. Who is Juliana? The future holy maiden of the spirit hall. Yet he seemed utterly indifferent, infuriating Juliana, who promptly produced 5 boxes 500,000 gold soul coins. This was the entirety of her and Xiao's fortune. Open. Let me get one more for my brother. Upon uttering these words, Juliana left Xiao bewildered. Wasn't it supposed to be 10 consecutive draws? Why just one? Outside, the commotion had reached a fever pitch as a crowd clamored, "Hurry up. 10,000 gold soul coins for soul bones to take home. Save 2 for me." This time, Xiao deliberately chose the 6th jar in the 6th row, his expression solemn as if selecting a lottery ticket. Lin Xiao chuckled inwardly. Does he even comprehend the odds? Does he still wish to continue his lucky streak? Juliana scrutinized the jar, her thoughts lingering on skepticism. It must be a gimmick. Xiao is merely a shill. Then, in the next moment, I have made my decision. The 6th row, the 6th jar. Xiao's voice trembled with anticipation. Do you think Xiao can still unearth a soul bone this time? Will Juliana be left red-faced? What treasures might the 500,000 gold soul coins ultimately unveil? The upcoming chapter's jar opening results are bound to be explosive, surely leaving you astounded. Crack! Xiao brought down his hammer, shattering the jar into a million pieces. Yet there was no light, not a glimmer. The atmosphere grew instantly awkward. Xiao turned pale, Yin fidgeted anxiously by his side, and Juliana coldly scoffed. I told you so. This is nothing but a scam. How could soul bones possibly appear every day? As the enigmatic rummaged through the fragments for an extended period, he finally unearthed a diminutive object measuring 3 centimeters, his expression one of utter bewilderment. What is this? He inquired. Lin Xiao replied leisurely. This is known as an experience capsule. Utilizing it will increase your current level's soul power limit by 10%. What does that mean? The trio asked in unison. To illustrate, if it takes 10 days for you to advance from level 29 to 30, with this capsule, you only require 9 days. For a title Douluo, it could save years of arduous training. Upon hearing this, Yu sprang to his feet. Hulaina and Yan's eyes nearly bulged from their sockets. This item was nothing short of a divine treasure for a title Douluo. Years of painstaking effort exchanged for 100,000 gold soul coins. A tremendous bargain. Open it. Use the remaining 400,000. Yu declared, caught up in excitement, waving his hand. With a series of cracks, 3 jars shattered, releasing a cascade of white light. Yu's eyelids twitched uncontrollably. Could it truly be? What do you think the final jar will yield? Will it continue to shower warm, white light? Or will it erupt with a legendary artifact? If Yu accumulates enough of these experience capsules, he could easily surpass BB Dong in no time. The thrilling outcome of the next chapter is not to be missed.